Chapter 110. Repaying a Favor. Old Blue obviously didn't understand. Tijan shook his head helplessly. This middle-aged man in front of him was timid, greedy, fond of lying, impulsive, and easily carried away. He seemed to have almost all the shortcomings combined, yet Kaija just couldn't dislike him. He stopped talking about this issue with him and walked straight toward Jiang Shan. These people seemed to have never made a move against him, which was rather strange. "Why did you tie up my teammates?" Tijan asked. Jiang Shan moved his aching back and said, "Didn't I tell you? That was Chu Jiang Qiu's idea. You hit pretty hard just now." Surprisingly, Chu Jiang Qiu didn't ask me to tie you up. If Chu Jiang Qiu can't give a legitimate reason, I'll hit even harder. TXIA's tone was very serious, not sounding like he was bluffing at all. "Damn it, can't you talk properly? But it doesn't matter anyway. Chu Jiang Qiu wanted to see you anyway." Xiang Shan waved his hand in the direction not far away, and Little Glasses ran over. Kaija saw the familiar face again. "Xiang Shan, are you okay?" Little Glasses asked. "I'm fine. Take this guy to see Chu Jiang Qiu." Xiang Shan waved his hand, then moved his back a bit, helped up the young man who had been knocked down by Tijan, and left with Qiao Jiajin. Little Glasses looked Tijan up and down and then said, "Mr. T, right? Please follow me." Tijan nodded cautiously and followed. The two of them kept walking along the corridor until they reached the door of a classroom at the southernmost end. Little Glasses reached out and knocked gently on the door. "Mr. Cho, Miss Yan, I've brought the person." "Let him in," a man said inside the room. Before Little Glasses could say anything, Tijan pushed the door open and walked into the classroom. Yun Yao was sitting in front of a desk painting her fingernails, while a refined stranger seemed to be writing something on the blackboard with a swishing sound at the moment. When the two of them saw Tijan, they both turned their heads to look at him. The down-and-out handsome guy." Yun Yao pointed at Kaija and exclaimed joyfully, "Have you agreed to be my rumored boyfriend?" Kaija ignored Yun Yao and instead stared at the stranger. "Kaija." The stranger smiled, put the chalk in the groove of the blackboard, then clapped the dust off his hands. "I've heard a lot about you. I'm Chu Yang Qiu." Tijan nodded and walked forward. Little Glasses behind him wisely closed the door. Yun Yao stood up and walked towards Tijan. There was a refreshing fragrance on her body. "Kaija, it's so nice that you're here." Chu Yang Qiu also walked towards Tijan, with an elegant smile always on his face. "I'm sorry to meet you in this way. I hope you can forgive me." "Chu Yang Qiu, tell me the reason why you did this." Tijan got straight to the point. "You mean that I control your teammates?" Chu Yang Qiu smiled. "How should I put it? After all, this is our territory. I don't really need to explain it to you. Let me confirm with you." Tijan frowned slightly. "You tricked us into coming here, then controlled my teammates, and you're not even going to tell me the reason. So, what if I did?" Chu Yang Qiu pushed up his glasses. "Tijan, since it's your first time coming to Heaven's Gate, maybe you don't know the rules here. Then, what are the rules here?" Tijan asked. "I am the rule." Chu Yang smiled again, a smile that made Kaija feel very uncomfortable. "As long as everyone listens to me, I'll take everyone out sooner or later." Tijan stared coldly at Chu Yang, not knowing what he was planning. There was a strange atmosphere in the air. "Oh, what are you two talking about?" Yun Yao came forward to smooth things over. "It's our first meeting. Why is it so serious? We'll be teammates in the future." Seeing that neither of them replied, Yun Yao remembered what Chu Yang had said before about kings don't meet each other. Perhaps these two people really weren't suitable to be teammates. But after all, both of them were very intelligent and were indispensable forces. It would be a huge loss for Heaven's Gate, no matter who left. "Could you give your idol some face?" Yun Yao smiled and took TXIA's hand and then Chu Yang Qiu's hand. "You two shake hands in front of me." We'll all be good friends from now on. No need. Tijia pulled his hand back. Chu Young-Qiu also withdrew his hand. Yan Yao, don't worry. Kojo is a smart person. It seems that he also understands the rules of this place. Let me confirm with you one last time. Tijia frowned slightly. You consider yourself a local despot. So everyone who joins Heaven's Gate has to unconditionally follow your orders, be at your disposal, and can't ask questions, right? Although it's a bit one-sided, it's roughly the same meaning. Chu Tianqiu, Ayu pushed up his glasses. Of course, I'm not a local despot. I'm just the leader of this place. You know, if there's no leader among a group of people, so many people will be like a mess. In the end, no one will be able to get out. Yun Yao shook her head helplessly. Tisha, don't take it amiss. Although Chu Tianqiu Ayu is our leader, his aim is to lead us out. We're still teammates. Tisha nodded again, looked at the two people in front of him, and suddenly turned his head to Yun Yao and said, "Could you step back a bit?" Step back? Yun Yao was stunned for a moment, then smiled and asked, "Why? Don't you like the smell on me?" "No, it smells nice," Tisha said, "but I hope you'll step back a bit." Yun Yao thought for a moment and nodded, then stepped back 2 steps. "I get it. Do you want to check out my figure?" After saying that, Yun Yao spun around on her own. "No, I'm just afraid of hurting you," Tisha said. "Hurting me?" Before Yun Yao and Chu Tianqiu you could react, Tisha suddenly took a step forward. He imitated the way Yao Jiajin had hit the black bear that he remembered. His shoulder moved with his waist, and his right arm swung out like a rope. His fist spun 180 degrees in the air and punched out, originally aiming at Chu Yang-Hu, Ayu's chin. The punch landed on his mouth instead. It seemed that he really needed to practice his fighting skills more. But Chu Yang-Hu Ayu didn't have time to react at all and took the punch firmly. He let out a howl and then fell straight to the ground like a big tree that had been cut down. Yun Yao was so frightened that she covered her mouth with both hands. She didn't know why things had developed like this. Hojia shook his aching right hand and walked towards Chu Yang-Hu again. Chu Yang-Hu Ayu's mouth was full of blood from Xia's punch, and he showed a painful expression as he lay on the ground. Hijia slowly crouched down beside him, stared into the other's eyes, and asked word by word, "Chu Yang-Hu Ayu, what are you pretending for?"